Hello guys, so in today's video I'm going to be doing a really glam makeup look. I'm not sure how this is going to turn out, but I'm hoping that it'll be nice. I'm in a different setting right now. This is in my dining room. It's just really pretty outside, and so I wanted to use the natural lighting to my advantage, and I'm also up and I'm not working, so you know, it's like a rare occurrence. So I've already moisturized and primed my skin. For the moisturizer, I use the Clinique Dramatically Different Moisturizing Lotion, and I really like this one for dry skin. Of course, you want to make sure that you find a moisturizer that fits your skin type though. I used two primers, so I used the Neutrogena Healthy Skin Primer, which is kind of like an illuminating primer. It gives this kind of glow to your skin. And then to fill in my pores so that our full coverage foundation that we're about to use doesn't magnify that, I use the e.l.f. Poreless Face Primer. So these are my two faves right now. It's what I've been using constantly. It's actually been a minute since I used this foundation. This is the Urban Decay All Nighter Waterproof Long Wear Liquid Foundation. But I found that every time that I wear this, I just feel so bougie. Like, I just feel like perfection. So that's what I'm gonna do today. But it's a little dark, so I'm gonna mix it in with the e.l.f. 16-hour Camo Concealer, because this is a really full coverage concealer, so it'll help lighten up this really full coverage foundation. About that much. And then I'm gonna take the concealer and do about that much. Okay, so now I just like to dot it all over my face. You kind of want to focus it in the center. And I'm going to be using a beauty blender today, but I'm not. It's actually not a beauty blender. I have changed from my beauty blender to a knockoff. And I really like this one because I feel like it doesn't absorb any of the product. And it doesn't dilute the foundation either. So yeah, I'm just going to make this into like a little chit chat. This is kind of off topic, and I just find it really sad how insecure and bad about themselves that older women feel. I feel like women are seen in their value as how attractive they are. And then once you get old and you stop having those youthful qualities, they feel really bad about themselves because it's like that's the only thing that they've known, like, that gives them any kind of value, and they're losing it, and they feel like they're just dirt on the bottom of a shoe. And it really just shows to me, it's like so many, even like I was checking out at Walgreens the other day, and she was like, I need to get my big butt over there. I was gonna say little, but my butt's not very little. And I was like, oh, that's alright, big butts are in right now. And she was like, not the kind of butt that I have. It's not a Kim Kardashian butt. I'm 60 years old, but I'm not worth anything. And I was just like, yes you are. You are to me. And then like I work with someone who's older, and she's just always like, just know you're gonna get like this one day, you're gonna be this ugly one day. And I'm like, that's really sad. Like that you, I don't know, I just think it's sad that it's like women just don't feel good about themselves when they start aging, because it's so beat into our brains that like women have to be beautiful, women have to be beautiful. It's why the beauty industry is so huge. So I think everyone deserves to know that they are still worth something, and they still have value, and that they are still beautiful even after they start to age. I just think that there's so much more than just your outward appearance, and that we should stop focusing on that so much and just try to be good people. I think that's the biggest thing. For concealer, I use the Milani Conceal and Perfect. I love this concealer. It has like a really nice glowy finish, but it's very full coverage. So I'm gonna do a little bit of cream contour. So I'm gonna use this e.l.f. foundation palette in medium deep or medium dark. Medium dark. Use this little brush from Hard Candy, and I'm gonna go into this second lightest shade here, because clearly I'm a ghost. So I really like to buff it out because I don't want it to look like I have cream contour on, you know what I mean? I want it to look like, oh girl, you have an amazing bone structure. And I'm just gonna take a little bit of that darker color right there and just barely go onto the sides of my nose. I don't really want to call this a contour because it's not very like precise. I'm just kind of adding some shadow here because that foundation was so full coverage. I don't want it to white out my nose, you know what I mean? Before I do anything else, I'm gonna do the highlight because I didn't even bring the highlight. I'm gonna go get the highlight. So highlights look way better and way more metallic and almost kind of like more melted into the skin if you use it when it is on a cream product underneath. Get some on my brush. This is the Wet n Wild Precious Petals highlight. It's like my absolute fave. And then this is also a Wet n Wild highlighting brush. And I'm gonna spray my face with the Milani and Make It Last setting spray. And this will kind of give it something to stick to. You want to make sure you're putting it in the right area. A lot of people just get really messy with it, and they just know that it goes like here, and they just, and that takes away from the look. So you want to keep it right in the area, but you also don't want that stripe of highlight either. So kind of buff out those edges where it's needed. And I'm gonna go in with the sponge that I used with the foundation and just kind of tap around the edges just so that we have a nice blend. Now I'm not gonna use powder because I have dry skin and I don't need to, but if you want to use powder, feel free, girl, feel free to use some powder. I'm gonna go into the Estée Lauder Bronze Goddess bronzer, and I love this bronzer because it has kind of a red tone to it. I want to show you. This is the Maybelline, and this is the Estée Lauder. So I like the red tone because it almost looks like an actual suntan. So I'm going to take it on this fluffy angled brush and start here. I'm using this as bronzer, not contour, so we're not being really precise with this. We're just kind of buffing it around the edges. And then I'm going to take it down here and onto my neck, onto my décolleté too, just so that we're not a floating head. Now, sometimes I go a little too cray-cray with the bronzer and my forehead starts to just look like a big orange blob. Exhibit A. So, I'm going to take my sponge and just press right in the center of my forehead so that we have a certain kind of brightness here. Last but not least, I'm going to warm up the skin even more. This is obviously a very bronzy look with the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Gold Deposit. Look how beautiful it is. We're going to use this kind of like a blush. Ooh. And then I'm going to take it underneath my nose and kind of over top of it and then through here, so we get just like a really all over kind of bronzed look. I'm going to use the Wet n Wild Micro Brow Pencil. It's just a little baby one. My cat may or may not be in the litter box right now. Okay, so pretty much you just fill in your eyebrow. It's pretty self-explanatory. I'm going to do the other side and I will get back to those. Okay, so we're done with that. I'm going to go into the Lancôme Starlight Sparkle Shadow Palette. I love the formula of these shadows. They blend so easily. And I'm going to start off with a nice big fluffy brush. And I'm going to go into the shade Sand right here. I'm going to tap out any concealer that may have creased. And I'm not going to prime my lids just because I already have product on them, like the foundation and primer, or the foundation and concealer. So that's enough primer for me. And I'm just going to buff it in and take it up a little bit. And I'm going to take it in a little bit right here too, just because my eyes are hooded, so when I put the color here more, it kind of pushes them back more so it doesn't look like they're hooded as much. And I just want to keep this eyeshadow really blended and really diffused. And then I'm going to take a brush that's a little bit more pointy almost. It's the same color, but I'm going to take it right here on this edge. I'm going to go into the shade called Rose Quartz right down here. This Morphe M421 brush. This is I just now bought some brushes from Morphe just because I was going to get some MAC brushes and I was like, these are kind of expensive, and I know Morphe brushes are not that expensive, so I went ahead and got the Morphe instead, and I do like them, but it's like I don't know if they're worth the hype though. And then I'm going to spray my finger with some of this setting spray. And this is going to help it, so it kind of looks a little chunky to me right now, and I don't like chunk. So you can see if you do that and you spray your finger with a little bit of water, it'll take that chunkiness away, and it also, you can kind of manipulate the shadow and move it around a little bit more. It makes it kind of a thinner layer, and it also makes it more metallic. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Actually, that one doesn't look chunky, so I don't think I need to do it to that one. But I am going to pull it onto this inner corner just to really brighten. Now I'm going to do some mascara, so I'm going to use, I'm going to use the Lancôme Hypnose Drama Mascara. I absolutely love this one. This is worth the hype. And I'm going to apply false lashes. I like to do mascara before I do the lashes, but to each its own, you know, you do you, girl. I just want to make sure I'm getting every lash that I can, so that when I do the false lashes, if there's any areas where the band isn't reaching, it's not going to look like that part's bald, you know what I mean? And I'm going to do this lower lash mascara too. This is a little bit more important because you're not doing false lashes down here, so I like to use the pointy part of the brush just so I can kind of manipulate the hairs and move them to the area that's the most flattering. My brows are looking like they're getting a little lost in my face, so I'm going to do a little bit of brow gel. This is the MAC Pro Longwear Waterproof Brow Set. I'll just make them a little bit darker. Sometimes I get a little bit carried away with the brow gel, so then I'll just take a clean spoolie and make sure that it's all brushed out and it's not thick. And it's also nice to do this after the brow gel because that one's a really long wearing brow gel, like it's like glue. So you can make sure you're getting it in the right area before it sits down and stays there for the rest of the day, you know? Okay, I'm gonna use the Remy lashes from Ardell. These are like, they pretty much look like demi wispies, but they're just a little bit fluffier. And I'm gonna use my favorite lash glue, which is the Kiss one with the gold cap. Don't get the one with the silver, it's terrible. And I'm using my fingers to put these on, but you can use tweezers. Tweezers are easier, but I just don't feel like getting up and getting some. Oh, hi. Oh. This is my kitty. She didn't like that. Now we're gonna do lips. For lips, I am going to use the Baby Buff lip liner from Clinique. It's my absolute favorite. And get rid of these foundation lips because they are not cute, honey. Follow my natural lip line. My hand is just so used to overlining that it just does it. And I'm gonna take a little bit of that concealer from e.l.f., tap it in the center. And then to finish it off, I'm gonna use the L'Oreal Infallible lipstick or lip gloss in the shade Dulce de Leche. Look how pretty it is. Quit focusing on me. Beautiful. Focus on me. Okay guys, so this is our finished, our completed look. Get that lash on there right. And we're gonna do a little bit of setting spray. And we are done, hunty. And now, you are a bronze goddess. Okay guys, this video was really chill. Make sure you subscribe, do all that fun stuff. You know what to do if you want to do it. And I will see you in my next video.